and welcome to another segment of AstrologyAnswers.com's weekly horoscope. My name is Terence Scardino. Well, on Sunday, April the 17th, ambitious, aggressive, high-energy Mars went retrograde, as it does once every 2 years. It can be a time of having to put on the brakes, or you're feeling like you're swimming against the current. But it's a great reminder that you just need to pace yourself and take things more cautiously, and you'll be able to accomplish a lot, but you can't just wing it and rush in and be impulsive. You need to take your time. So on Monday, Venus, that planet of relationships, diplomacy, creativity, is actually going to be very stabilized in a very favorable aspect with Saturn. So that Venus, when it's good with Saturn, if there's any kind of resentments, frustrations, anger that's coming up with that Mars in retrograde, and it'll be the most irritable and anxious those few days that Mars is changing directions. But on Monday, here's the Venus is being stabilized by the Saturn. So you're not going to be just making impulsive, crazy decisions about relationships or even about working with others. You're going to realize that maybe it's time to be more practical, see how things play out. So this is a good grounding energy with all this instability. And then on Tuesday, the sun that had been in impulsive, pioneering Aries for the last 4 weeks, but on Tuesday, on the 19th, the sun moves into Taurus for 4 weeks. Taurus is sensible, it's practical, it loves its routine. It likes to take things slowly. So that's going to really help with that Mars which is so wound up and wants to have everything done yesterday. But now that it's retrograde, you're realizing things have to be maybe reworked, reorganized, and slowed down, and that Taurus sun will help. Now, Venus on that same day, Tuesday, will be in tension to Pluto. So maybe this is also when you're realizing you have to make some significant changes, that's the Pluto energy, to relationships. And this is all building up to late Thursday into Friday, when there's going to be a full moon. This full moon is going to be in the intense sign of Scorpio. That Scorpio energy is like it's all or nothing. It's urgent. It's not lighthearted and casual. So there's a lot of intense energy. But a full moon can really affect relationships. It's a time of culmination, of resolution, and when things are not working out, time to perhaps let go. And I do think there's going to be a lot of relationships will be tested, but not all that negative, because Venus, pleasure-seeking Venus, is going to be aligning with Uranus on Friday, being part of the full moon energy. Venus-Uranus can bring in a new friendship out of the blue, some new infatuations. It might bring this sudden awareness that maybe you need to start dating other people. But I think for most of us, if the full moon and that Mars in retrograde is bringing up a lot of tension and bringing matters to a head with a relationship, which could also be a business relationship, the Venus-Uranus can help you have look at the situation in with fresh eyes, with a new perspective. And so this might even be as you starting to, you need to have that talk, and things need to be revealed But with the Venus-Uranus, you could be surprised that when you finally address these intensities and these issues in relationships, the Venus-Uranus may actually be a breakthrough. Could, like break all the intensity and lighten things up. It might even be, it could be a very good time to like shift the energy from being so heavy and we can't talk about this because it may jeopardize the relationship. The Venus-Uranus just may awaken things and make it more light and a lot more enjoyable. So there is a lot of intensity going on, but as long as you stay sensible, grounded, pace yourself, whether it's personal relationships, business relationships, or just trying to accomplish any of your goals, you're going to be a lot more successful if you don't like rush in and demand everything is done right away. I want to remind you again that I'm available to answer questions at astrologyanswers.com. Always try to include your time of birth if you have it. You can request this at the Astrology Answers website, or you can find a direct link to connect with me in the description page and the YouTube channel under the video. So until next week, I hope to see you again for my next segment. Until then, have a great and cautious, productive week.